Hello AOS fans, it's me Pete and I'm back for a deck review. It's been a while but I think I still got it. So what have I got today? Well, for today I am going to be showing off my Sepulchral guard. I'm coming up against the Nightvault, that's it, the Briar Queen and her Thorns. The Warden's going to show that he ain't lost everything and he's not bottom of the heap yet. He can still show those other undead whippersnappers a thing or two. Although maybe he's the whippersnapper. I'm not really sure. Anyway, so what have I gone for? Gone for an offensive deck here. It's pretty offensive. There's lots of killy stuff in this. I want to try and rip apart the Nightvaults as quickly as I can. And I have picked a deck with no faction fractions, and I have been a little bit specific, a little bit naughty. In my cards, I have gone for cards that I think will be good against the Nightvaults. So this isn't a tournament deck. We've decided with Nightvault that we're going to maybe pick a few more cards specific to our opponent, purely just to make things a bit more interesting, because otherwise you end up picking a lot of the same cards a lot of the time, because there are some cards that just do better in a tournament setting. So anyway, what have I gone for? Well, let's start with the objectives as usual. So my first card is More Able Bodies. Score in an end phase if my warband took out 2 or more enemy fighters. 1 glory should be pretty easy to achieve. I've then gone for Skills Unforgotten. This is score immediately, which is nice, and it's basically kill someone with my Warden. With all of those chain rasps floating around, even he should be able to kill somebody there. I've then gone for Change of Tactics, which is score immediately. Again, another score immediately. If a player on guard or a fighter on guard makes a charge action, this is a fairly easy one to win mid-turn. I've then gone for Defensive Strike. I don't have the speed. My tactics are basically to turtle up near my side and let Robin come to me and then try and take people out. So I'm going to kill people in my half. I might as well take Defensive Strike. It's score immediately again and another glory when I kill someone. All handy. I've then gone for Escalation. As I've already listed 3 score immediately cards, hopefully there'll be enough glory knocking around that I'll be able to get lots of upgrades and score Escalation. I've then gone for Master of War, because hopefully I'll have played Deploy, I'll have played an upgrade, and I'll have scored an objective in that round. So that's another easy glory score for me. I then go for No Remorse. This is another score immediately card if my fighter takes an enemy fighter out of action with an attack action with a damage characteristic greater than the target's wound characteristic. Again, that should be fairly easy to do against a lot of 2 wound chain rasps. I can get my champion or my prince or my warden beefed up a little bit with some other abilities. That one should be an easy one for me to reach. I then go for what should hopefully be a fairly easy one for me, Our Only Way Out, scoring an end phase if I hold 3 or more objectives. Well, I've got the bodies, hopefully I'll get 3 objectives on my side and I'll be able to go for that. If not, I've got a few other cards which will hopefully help me jump over into Robin's side if I need to grab some. I've then got Ploy Master, play 3 ploys, nice and easy, always have that in my deck. And this is a new one. I've gone for Pure Carnage. Score in the 3rd end phase if 7 or more fighters are out of action. Well, there's 7 of me and there's 7 of him, and there's going to be a lot of people dying. So I reckon I'll be able to have 7 people out of action near the end, even if it means I just don't res some of my more important people up, and I just keep trying to kill him. 3 deaths aside and 1 more makes 7. I think that's a 3 glory that I could score. I've then gone for Supremacy. Hold 3 objectives, get 3 glory. And Well Guarded, this is one from the leader's deck, scoring an end phase if my leader is adjacent to 2 or more friendly fighters. That's almost a given anyway with my guys. Might as well get a glory whilst I'm all hunkered up. So those are my objectives. I've got 4 instant scores, 7 regular ones, and 1 third turn, which is Pure Carnage. So I reckon that's a nice spread there for me. Going on to my Gambits, I've got 11 of these guys. First one is Bone Shrapnel. Cause 1 damage to somebody when they take me out. Some of my guys are going to die. I might as well do some damage to Robin at the same time. Ceaseless Attacks. Play after a friendly fighter's attack action. Make another attack action with another friendly fighter. The more attacks off I can get in one go, the better. The more of his guys I can kill. Helps me score some of my instant scores, and it helps me just whittle him down. I've then gone for Restless Dead. It's a must in any Sepulchral Warden deck. I've then got Jewel of Wits. Always take a Jewel of Wits card if I've got a 22 card deck, just to help me try and get through as many cards as I can. I've got Ephemeral Shield, +1 defense for the next person who gets attacked. Very handy to have. I want to be waiting for him to come to me. If he gets a charge off, that'll help protect me a little bit more. I've then got Hidden Paths, one for when I've got my Only Way Out or Supremacy cards in my hand, and Robin's placed that 5th objective all the way back in his backfield right next to an edge, which would be quite handy. I've then gone for Inspiration Strikes. It'll be handy to inspire some of my guys before they die, and I have to then waste an activation bringing them back. Then I've got Mighty Swing, not normally one that I would take with a Sepulchral Guard, but as I'm against these floaty blokes, and there's 7 of them, I might as well use this, so that my next attack action with a range of 1 in the next activation targets all adjacent enemy fighters. Very handy if I can get my champion in the thick of things, he might be able to chop 2 or 3 up all in one go. I've then got Quick Thinker, hopefully I can avoid one of his charges with this one. As soon as he's made a move action I can use this as a reaction, and I can make a move action on my own. I can either bring somebody up into support if needs be, or I can just run somebody away so we can't hit anyone. I've then got the ubiquitous Ready for Action! Gonna always have this one. It's great for getting a double move off, maybe a double attack off. Although I think my history of this giving me 2 successful attacks is near 0, so it's got to start kicking in at some point, right? And the last card, Shard Gale. All fighters suffer 1 damage. This will increase the body count exponentially, and it will mean people will be dropping left, right and centre, and I reckon it'll be a great card to take. There'll just be people dying all over the place. It means that nobody's going to be safe from anybody, and I just think that's going to really help me, because I can bring people back and Robin can't. So onto my upgrades, and what have I taken here? So I've got Fatal Strike for my champion. If he dies, he can make an attack reaction before he dies. 2 hammers, 2 damage, could be very useful, and especially if I can charge him and kill someone. He gets killed in retaliation, and then he uses his attack to kill another person off before I res him. I've then got Frightening Speed, +2 move is always handy, especially on these guys, especially if he's got one of his objectives near my side and I need to get a 3rd one for my Supremacy or Only Way Out. Undying +1 wound, with Shard Gale blowing across the board, that will be very handy on my Warden. Acrobatic next, my characters have a dodge defense, which is all of them, get an extra defense dice, makes me a little bit more sturdy. I've then gone for Deathly Fortitude, -2 move, which is a bit painful, but +2 wounds. I'm pretty happy with that trade-off. If I give it to my champion or my Warden right in the middle of the field and keep all my other guys around, then most people are going to be within stabby range of them anyway. I've then gone for Ethereal Shield, turn my dodge defense into a shield defense, makes one of my guys a little bit harder to kill. Great Strength next, +1 damage. I'll probably give this to one of my petitioners if anything, because they roll 2 dice, 3 dice, doing 2 damage means anybody is a target and nobody is safe once I start getting some of these upgrades out. Light Armour is the next one. It turns one of my people into a bit of a glass cannon. I can't use crits on defense anymore, but I can roll an extra attack dice when this fighter makes an attack action. Low Blow. Now with people's wounds being reduced so much, I might be able to combine Low Blow with Great Strength on somebody. It rolls 2 hammers, but swords and hammers are successes for this attack. As well as crits, that means you've got a 4 in 6 chance or a 2 in 3 chance of doing 1 or 2 damage. That is pretty good. I've also got Shade Glass Darts, haven't had this one in a while. 3 swords, 1 damage, critical hits do 2 damage. You've got a nearly 50% chance of doing a critical hit with rolling 3 dice. I like their mods to roll 2 damage, and it means that, again, nobody is safe. And the last one is Soul Trap. This one will go on my Warden. I just want to protect him as much as I can. I think this is the best way of doing that. It also means he's less of a juicy target for Robin. He's not going to want to go after my Warden. So those are my cards. There's a few cards in there I wouldn't normally take, but overall I quite like this deck. I'm hoping I can really rip apart the Nighthorns, chop them to pieces, get some of them wounded with Shard Gale, and then break out some of my lower damage attacks that roll more dice, and just take everybody to pieces that I can. Hopefully I can score a lot of extra immediate scores along the way, like Skills Unforgotten, Defensive Strike, that kind of thing, and at the end I'm really hoping that I can get Pure Carnage out, because that would be the icing on the cake. So what do you guys think? Do you think I can take down the Nighthaunts with this deck? Do you think I should be reducing some of my cards for damage and take some more healing or defensive cards? Or are you just waiting for the carnage? Let me know in the comments below. Bye!